Hi, today we are going to tell you a little something about a new economic policy (NEP) in Malaysia. To begin with, let's first look at a few problems that the Malaysians faced before 1970. Back then, there were several issues related to economic crisis, which are poverty, ethnic crisis, economic growth, and equity ownership. Therefore, the new economic policy was introduced by Tun Abdul Razak, our second Prime Minister, to address those issues. This 20-year policy was in use from 1970 to 1990 with two main objectives in mind. It is also the first long-term economic plan in Malaysia. As mentioned earlier, there were two specific objectives of NEP. The first was to eradicate poverty by raising income levels and increasing employment opportunities for all Malaysians, regardless of ethnics and races. The second was to restructure the society so that the identification of ethnic groups with economic function was eliminated. There were four major strategies to reduce poverty. The first one was to modernize the living condition of communities in rural and urban areas by improving the provision of social services such as housing, health, and education. The second strategy was to create more employment opportunities for different sectors, areas, and activities. Next, the government also encouraged every single Malaysian, regardless of races, to participate in the high potential economic sectors such as business, industry, and technology. By doing that, it will help the government to achieve the economic growth of GDP of 7% for the year of 1990. The income and the productivity of the poor were also boosted by utilizing their productive capital efficiently using modern techniques and better facilities such as land resources as well as financial and marketing assistance. In order to achieve the second objective of NEP, which is to restructure the society, the Bumiputra ownership of share capital was raised, especially in the corporate sector. Not only that, a business group was also formed among Bumiputra to ensure their meaningful participation in the modern economic sector. The government also allowed every single community to have free access to education, as it can prove to be very useful for the knowledge of the society. The last effort was to promote national unity by restructuring the employment pattern without any forms of discrimination. Overall, the NEP visualized restructuring of society in three levels. The first level was to increase the share of Bumiputra employment in the modern industrial sectors. The second level was to increase the Bumiputra share in corporate ownership. And the last level was to increase the number of Bumiputra entrepreneurs and their managerial control. Malaysia has then achieved a remarkable growth and development since the 1970s. With NEP, the government succeeded in installing unity among the community regardless of races and ethnic groups. Also, with the application of NEP, the economic structure of the country has been transformed from dependence on agriculture to a more broadly based economy. This has eventually led to the economic growth throughout the country. Apart from that, an exceptional success has also been made in poverty eradication through the improved outcomes of overall poverty rate in Malaysia. Last but not least, the people's ownership of share capital in major sectors throughout Malaysia has also been increased. After the end of NEP in 1990, the government managed to come out with a new policy known as the National Development Policy or NDP. It continued to pursue most of the NEP policies to reduce income inequalities and increase corporate ownership. With that, we have come to the end of our sharing with you on the new economic policy in Malaysia. This message is brought to you by the students of Malaysian Studies from University Technology Petronas.
Created using Powtoon.